Hello and welcome to City Beat. City Beat takes us inside Royal Oak City Hall for a closer look at city departments, services, and special programs. On each installment of City Beat, we will discuss a different aspect of Royal Oak City government. Topics for upcoming shows include the 44th District Court, the police and fire departments, the Royal Oak Public Library, the Department of Public Service, and WROK City TV. Hello, I'm Terry Teaton and your host for City Beat. On today's show, we will go with reporter Wally Stump to the Department of Public Service. He will be interviewing Department of Public Service Director Tom Trice. Mr. Trice will give us an overview of the department, how it is organized, and what services we can expect from them. City Beat will be right back with more after these messages.
I don't know, I'm missing something there.
This is New Guinea.
It's so powerful.
I don't see it.
I'm having an out-of-decade experience. I was walking and came upon a fountain which bore the sign, "Don't drink the water."
Do you get
the beggar
this?
carries a
Isn't
sign
it
saying, "I'm
fantastic?"
blind." What does this poem mean to me? It's like a collage of images.
Let's face it, not every cultural activity appeals to everyone.
Finding an oasis.
So we're giving you something everyone likes, a choice. That's why 23,000 arts and humanities groups are inviting you to find something you can get excited about. Just call for a free brochure about what's going on in your community.
I think I'm getting into this.
They're tuning up.
The arts and humanities, there's something in it for you. There's a lot going on in your community. For a free brochure on how to get involved, call our toll-free number.
Welcome back to City Beat. Today we're in the office of Mr. Tom Trice. Now, he's the Director of Recreation and Public Service. Thank you for being with us today, Tom. Would you tell us a little bit about your department?
I'd love to tell you about our department, Wally, and I'd like to say thank you for allowing this opportunity to be on this program. The Department of Recreation and Public Services covers a gamut of many areas. We cover the area of recreation, which includes the ice arena, the senior community center and all of the senior activities, as well as the recreation programming and all the recreation activities that the city has and runs throughout the, for example, in the summer we run the Roses program for the kids. It also covers the area of water and sewer. We've got 3 divisions underneath that particular superintendent. The Sewer Maintenance Division, which handles all sanitary and storm water. The Water Services Division, which handles water meters, reading of water meters. And the Water Maintenance Division, which handles all of the water coming into your home, water main breaks, and things of that nature. We also have a superintendent in charge of the Motor Pool Division and Communications. And that particular area covers about 250 pieces of rolling equipment that maintains the city, all of the police vehicles. And we also have a communications division there that handles all of the maintenance on the police radios, plus communications for all of our special events, such as the Christmas tree lighting programs and the different events that we sponsor throughout the year. We have public address systems, and we also do the public address system and sound for the city commission chambers. And then we have the Public Works Division, and under the Public Works Division there are another 6 subdivisions. We have, of course, the Sanitation Division, which is a contract through Laidlaw Waste Systems that picks up all of our residential and commercial refuse. And they also do all of our chipping, our brush chipping, on a cost per stop basis. The Traffic Services Division, or our Auto Parking Division, is they handle all of the parking in the Central Business District as far as the meters go, the 2 parking structures, and several of the other parking lots around the Central Business District. We also have some parking lots outside the Central Business District that they maintain. We have about 1,800 parking meters, and we have 2 parking structures that'll park about 1,000 cars, about 500 each. We have another division called the Electrical Division. The Electrical Division is responsible for all traffic signals, all the city-owned and maintained street lights. Examples of those would be the lights in the Central Business District. A lot of people refer to them as the yellow lights, the decorative lights that we have on our sidewalk area. We also maintain overhead lights on new construction type streets such as 14 Mile, 12 Mile, 13 Mile. Those lights all belong to the city and are maintained by city forces. Our electricians, we have 2. They maintain all of the city buildings also, putting in electrical wiring. They do a lot of the communications wiring for computers. And it also, as a part of that division, we do cross-connection inspection for water type connections, so that we keep our water clear and clean and safe to drink. Parks and Forestry is the 5th division that is underneath that particular superintendent. And Parks and Forestry, again, covers a grand array of duties, other than maintaining parks and, of course, trimming trees, which Parks and Forestry stands for. They also maintain all the equipment in the parks. They maintain a lot of the programs and special events. Again, going back to the tree lighting ceremonies and things of that nature, they're the people that go out and do the setups for that, and they move picnic tables for the Summer Fest, and they do a lot of different things that people don't associate with a maintenance type group. And then we have building maintenance. Our building maintenance staff is it's only a 2-man staff, but they do go around and take care of all of the maintenance that we have in our different buildings and facilities throughout the community.
What is the history of the Department of Public Service?
Well, the Department of Public Services, and it's referred to as the DPS in most cases, was structured in 1977 when Jim Perry was here, and there was a downsizing need at that time. Again, it was economics, and they created the position of the Director of Recreation and Public Services, and they placed Public Works and Motor Pool in that particular area. As time went by, electrical was also included in that, I should say, but as time went by, in 1985, there were several other retirements, and the water department was brought over to the Public Works Division and added to the Department of Public Services. So we took on a lot of other responsibilities without adding any personnel, and continuing to do the same type of jobs, and we maintained our level of services. In 1993, the Director of Recreation and Public Service, Jim Perry, retired, and in October I was appointed as the Director. And at that point in time, I began working on restructuring our department and putting the water and sewer divisions into one little department, and putting Parks and Forestry over into Public Works, kind of realigning and restructuring. We added no people, and we just aligned like departments where they were. In 1979, we would have had 152 personnel on board in the Department of Public Services. And today, we've got 95 people, full-time staff, which includes our recreation personnel.
City Beat will be back with more on the Department of Public Service.
I hope they will accomplish by inspiring young people to rise above any limitations, to become great people, the best they can become, and not feel limited by restraints of any kind of the earth. Like so many people feel they can't become successful for some reason, or they can't develop their intellect or can't develop their taste or something because of some limitation, financial or physical or what have you. I hope that they will free themselves of all those limitations and become greater people, better people, and more interesting people.
The Department of Public Services, DPS, you know, it's hard to associate those with picking up garbage and plowing snow. The old cliche was DPW, or Department of Public Works, and they always associated public works and garbage collection and snow removal with those particular organizations. Today, with the Department of Public Services being what it is, we cover, as I said before, we could just cover a litany of things, and people call. They can call for information on tree planting, or they can call for information on beehives. If they've got beehives in their trees and they're having a problem with that, they can call and get information. The Department of Public Services covers the leaf collection program, and we cover everything that basically that is in the outdoor maintenance arena in the operations of the city.
How much money per year does it take to operate your department?
It's surprising at how much money it does take to make the Department of Recreation and Public Services work. We handle about $24 million of taxpayer dollars and customer-type dollars every year, as far as making the maintenance operations and the recreation programs operate.
How many staff members do you employ full-time?
Full-time staff, we have about 95 full-time employees. We also supplement those full-timers at the Department of Public Service with seasonal employees in the summer who mainly work at cutting grass, and they work on the highway crews, painting streets, removing concrete, and with the water and sewer crews doing structure repair, water main repair, and so on.
Is there an advantage to hiring seasonal employees?
There's a great advantage economically to hiring seasonal employees, in particular in the parks area. When you've got grass growing in the high growing months in the spring and the fall, it's more economical to hire an employee at half the rate of a full-time employee and put them out there cutting grass than it would be to utilize all of our full-time employees doing that. Our Parks and Forestry employees also maintain the city cemetery at 12 Mile in Maine, between Main Street and Rochester. And by keeping the grass mowed and so on, we have had some vandalism in that particular area, and they did reset a lot of the headstones up there this past spring. I'll touch lastly on emergency-type situations and emergency-type work that Parks and Forestry performs. Seems like every couple of years we get hit with some heavy winds or a tornado-type situation where we have trees down on the streets. And we do clear all the streets, and we do maintain our street trees. Of course, if a tree happens to go down in a resident's backyard, that would be the responsibility of the resident as far as removing the tree from that premise. But any street-type tree or any tree that's out in the right-of-way that is damaged or if it's even knocked over or blown over during the storm, it would be our responsibility to come out and remove it or repair it. And these crews are on 24-hour call, and they'll respond in as quick a time as possible, get the equipment out there, and get everything back to normal.
Is there anything you might like to add regarding the Department of Public Service?
Well, in closing, Wally, I would just like to add a couple of things to leave in the minds of our residents. Public service in a time of need changes over to a public safety type operation, as far as getting people home safely during snowstorms or to school or shopping or wherever one might want to go. When trees are down and our people are out there functioning, or wires are down and we have public service employees out there relieving the fire department so that they can move on and to the down wire type situations. And police officers, when a signal is out and public service employees respond to either repair that signal or set up some type of a temporary traffic control device, we switch hats and we put on our public safety hat. The key to public services and the Department of Public Services in the city of Royal Oak is flexibility, the ability to take Parks and Forestry employees and move them into highway when they need snowplow operators, or the flexibility to take Public Works employees and move them into the Parks and Forestry division when we've got trees down, and so on and so on. As far as water main breaks go, moving employees from one division to the other without too much trouble. We try to cross-train our employees so that they can cover everything that we've got going and provide a high level of service to the residents within our community. So we will continue to do our best and provide that high level of service to the best of our abilities.
Tom, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. We can see that you've got your work cut out for you.
Thanks, Wally.
In a life-threatening emergency, you should know what to do. Say a loved one exhibits unusual symptoms. The first thing to do is... Clear! No. The first thing to do... Oh! Tourniquet! No! The first thing you do is pick up the phone and dial your emergency number.
Call 911 first.
Right.
How about mouth-to-mouth?
I don't think so. To learn more about life-saving techniques, contact your Red Cross.
Welcome back to City Beat. Today we're looking at the Department of Public Service. Now let's go and visit with Department Supervisor Dan Dickinson.
Thank you, Terry. Within the Department of Public Service is a division known as Parks and Forestry Department, and Dan Dickinson is the supervisor. Dan, what are some of the responsibilities of the Parks and Forestry Division?
Some of the responsibilities for the Parks and Forestry Department are tree trimming. We've got 22,000 street trees we maintain, and we also do some removals and stumping. We do a lot of grass mowing. There's 50 parks and 8 boulevards in Royal Oak that we maintain. And we also take care of a lot of special functions for setups of things like the art fair and Memorial Park area. We also maintain the CBD area, which is a central business district, and that area right now is really popular, so we spend a lot of time picking up litter, maintaining flowers and things of that nature. We also do things like code enforcements, which if somebody doesn't maintain a property and mow it or clean it up, they send us a memo, and we take care of that to make sure the city is kept clean.
What do you believe is the most important function of your department?
I believe that the most important function is just to give the best service to the residents of Royal Oak at the lowest cost. We believe that we're trying to provide a high quality of life for the people of Royal Oak, and that is probably the main function. We know that we're a public service department, and our goal is to provide a high quality service at a low cost.
When you say Parks and Forestry, is that one or is that 2 departments?
It's really only one department, but we call it 2 at times because during the summer we're really not doing a lot of forestry work. We're doing parks work. We go in and maintain the parks. We maintain play structures, mow, pick up litter, and then in the fall we really get into our tree work, and that's the time we really do all our trimming, tree removals, stumping, and things of that nature. What it really does is it allows the department to work year-round with no slow period. So it's really one department, but it's called 2 or has 2 names.
And how many full-time and seasonal employees do you have?
We've got 14 full-time employees, and that includes our 1 mechanic, but we also hire 20 to 25 seasonals, and they're the main core to our department during the summer months. And the reason why we hire all these people is to keep the cost of our operation very low.
How are city parks and boulevards scheduled for mowing?
City parks, we have 2 crews that do city parks. We have a north end crew and a south end crew. There's 50 parks, so each crew is doing 25 parks. We start off at 1 park, When we're finished with that, we go to the next closest park, and that way we cut down on travel time and work gets done a lot quicker. There's 8 boulevards, and that's done the same way. We go from one boulevard to the next. Everything is mowed every 2 weeks, and every park is maintained the same as any other park. There's no favoritism from one end of town to the other or from one park to another.
If a resident wanted to have their city tree trimmed, who would they call and when would this tree be trimmed?
Okay, all they'd have to do is call the Department of Public Service, and then one of the secretaries would write out a request card or a work order. And what they do is they just fill out the name and address and what work the resident would like done. Then it's turned over to the supervisor, and the supervisor would then go out and check the tree out and make a determination on what needs to be done. If it was anything hazardous, we would take care of that tree immediately. If it's just routine maintenance, then we would take care of it in the fall or winter when we do all our tree work. But everything would be done before springtime of that year.
And what about residential property?
Residential trees, we would go out and check for the resident, and we would let them know what could be done or needs to be done at no charge to them, but then it would be their responsibility to get the work done through a private company or do it themselves, whatever they chose.
Now, you mentioned that you service the City Hall and the public library area and also the CBD. Now, what other areas do you work with?
We do a lot of other areas. We also maintain the 10 Mile and Woodward area. We take care of I-75 mowing, the areas along 10 Mile Road. We take care of Memorial Park, the entire area out there, and that's become very popular too with the new batting cages out there and putt-putt golf course and the golf range, and there's so many activities out there now with Summerfest and Art Fair out there, so that's a big area to maintain now.
Now, snow removal is very important to residents. What does your department do concerning snow removal?
We take care of all the sidewalks around the parks where there's a school involved. We maintain those right away after a snowstorm. We also maintain the entire central business district, but this is done on a pay program. The businesses there pay for this snow removal separately, and we come in and take care of that. We also maintain all the city buildings, the sidewalks at City Hall, police station, DPS yard. And then if there's also a large snowfall where there's 3 inches or more, we help highway out. At that time, everybody in the city that works for the Department of Public Service is required to plow snow, and we try to get all the snow off the roads at 24 hours after the snowfall is finished.
Why do they pile the snow in the center of the street?
In the central business district, they push all the snow in the center of the street because there's no place else to push it. If they push it over the curb, it's going to go by a parking meter and cause a problem. So everything is pulled out to the center, and then we use the 8th and haul all the snow away and take it to the snow hole and get rid of it.
What do your employees do when it's raining or extremely cold or snowing?
During bad weather days, we've got work that we set aside all year for them to do. If it's extremely cold in the winter or snowing where they can't climb a tree, that's the time of year when we do things like small removals where we can pull a tree over, clean it up. We do our stump removal then. We also have people out plowing snow. We do ice rinks that time of year, or if it's extremely cold, we have one crew go out. We have 5 ice rinks in Royal Oak, so we maintain those at the time. We also take care of picnic tables. Every year we pull in every table in the city, check the boards. If any need to be replaced, we replace them, and then after that we varnish every table. We also paint all the rubbish barrels in the city too, so make sure that they're fairly attractive when springtime rolls around.
So they're paid 40 hours a week, and you expect them to work 40 hours, whether it's outside or inside?
Yeah, we work whether it's nice outside or not, and true of everybody, if you're paid for 40 hours, we expect 40 hours of work, and we make sure there's things for them to do no matter what the weather is.
Baseball has always been a popular sport, and now soccer is growing at an unbelievable rate. How do you maintain the fields?
Okay, baseball is still real popular, and soccer, now we have 14 fields where a few years ago we only had 4 to 6.
Then, is there anything that we haven't covered that would be of interest to our viewers?
Sure, there's a lot of things that we do that people don't realize that we really do. We take care of the Christmas lights downtown. We take care of code enforcements, police reports. If a police writes up a report where somebody has damaged city property, it's turned over to us, and then we take care of it, whether it's ruts in a park or if a person knocks down a tree. What we do is go clean up the problems or the mess afterwards, and then what we do is we replace the tree and it's billed towards that person. We take care of all the special activities around town, whether it's a special function for a family or for the city, and we do all that cleanup. People don't realize how many different things there are to do that our department does. It's important that they know where their tax dollars are going. So we do keep busy all year round, and if somebody needs something done that's on city property, all they need to do is call us at 544-9710 and ask us, and if the money's available, we'd be more than happy to do it for them.
Dan, thank you for being with us today and taking your time and giving us some very informative answers. And once again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wally. On this edition of City Beat, we have focused on the Department of Public Service and Parks and Forestry. We hope that we've been able to show you that these departments do more than people could ever realize. For City Beat, I'm Terry Teaton.